Want me to? Or you-
It doesn't really matter because we're gonna be typically on Zoom, you know?
Yeah.
Appreciate your patience, everybody.
Okay, so, hey guys, morning.
Morning.
How's everybody doing?
Right.
Good. All right, so, number one, when I do a fast start meeting, let me say this first, actually. So, when you do a meeting, somebody should always be watching you doing that so that you can duplicate your skill sets, right? And if you're not a pro yet at doing whatever meeting you're doing, then have your coach watch you if you can, or your trainer, so that they can correct you and help you make, corrections to your mistakes, right? And sharpen your skills. I think those are the two most important things, because either you're a pro or you're not, right? And if you're here and you have a notebook in front of you, you should be taking notes, because one thing that really helped me a lot was every training, I didn't come to spend my time, I came to invest my time. And that meant every single thing Peter and Tia come up, I could write 3,000 in a week, but they did it this week, so there's something I have to learn from them. So even though I've been here for however long I've been here, I'm still going to take notes on Peter and Tia and how they got those clients. Does that make sense? Because you can never think that you know everything, or else you would have been doing it already, right? So when somebody like Shondell, who's a trainee, she just got started, or maybe she's still going to submit her IBA, because I want to get through the fast start meeting as soon as possible and set appointments with her. I want her to have a notebook in front of her at all times. And I'm really famous for asking after we're done with the meeting, what do I ask, Cheryl? What do I ask after we're done with any meeting? What are 3 things that you learned? Because if you don't learn anything from me, I'm no good to you. We don't have to work together. So pay attention, right? So I'm not saying that, but I'm saying it without saying it. Because if you're not paying attention, then why am I even talking, right? So I've gotten, hopefully really good with being more patient, right? But so Shondell has a notebook in front of her. She's in front of her computer. We're Zooming, and the fast start meeting part 1. So before we get into making a list, which is gonna allow me to teach her how to set appointments, whether it's recruiting appointments or the qualified appointments for her field training, there's some things that we have to go through first before we get into that. Because I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do with you as far as the trainee, right? I'm gonna tell the trainee what I'm gonna do with them before I do it, so that they are following the steps. Because from day one, I'm going to see, from day one, I'm training you. So the reason why I'm explaining all this stuff, so one day you can explain it to somebody else, right? And I'm also listening to the trainee on how they talk, how they walk, like how they act, because I'm looking for red flags. I need to know as soon as possible if this person is a waste of my time, right? Because Bruce says, once you figure out if somebody's worth your time, once you figure out if somebody's not worth your time, that's gonna cut a lot of time wasted, and you can get to the right person quicker. So fast start meeting part 1, I'm going through the orientation. I do not do a fast start meeting with anyone until they watch Samir's orientation. So if I don't get a notification from the courses that Shondell and Dante have put together that they have done the orientation, or I know they haven't finished it, then I'm not doing the fast start meeting, because there's questions that you're going to ask me that could have been answered, and we can just go straight into it, right? Again, not wasting time. So these are the slides that Thomas is going to follow after I go through these bullet points here, that I hit on before we actually get into making a list. So number 1, I'm going to set expectations with you so that we can build a very great communication relationship where you get back to me and I get back to you within 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. Number 2, coachability. I'm going to ask you permission if I can coach you, right? Number 3, showing up. I'm going to let you know if you don't show up, and I got this from Samir and you can only do this if you have appointments throughout the week, okay? So don't do this if your week is planned, okay? You can only do this if you actually have the option to, okay? But I tell people, if you don't show up to Saturday training, I'm canceling your appointments, because I got other appointments I can go on, right? I have other trainees that actually show up, because if the coach is working with teammates that don't show up to practice, that sends the wrong message to other teammates that do show up, doesn't it? So number two, I'm gonna go through our training schedule and I'm gonna let them know we show up at 9 a.m. Why? Because I'm conditioning the newest people, like, when you have babies, right? Or a puppy, right? You want to teach them the right thing to do from day one. So from day one, I'm teaching you to show up early. Showing up on time is late, showing up early is on time, right? If you don't show up on time, you're not on our team. What kind of team do you think you want, right? Our team shows up early. We set up, we clean up. So winners show up early. Number three, I'm gonna go through the trainee's non-negotiable schedule because I need to know when you are not able to work your primary business. There's priorities you have with your child, there's priorities you have with doctor's appointments, maybe you have an older parent to take care of, right? I need to know your job schedule so that I can work around that. And that way, when we set our week up on Saturday or confirm I set appointments for you, there's no conflict. There should never be a time where you tell me you can't make an appointment because I already have your schedule in front of me, right? You already gave me your schedule. And if you didn't give me your schedule, that's your fault. You need to move your job schedule because you didn't let me know your schedule. I told you to let me know, right? I don't say all this to the trainee. This is my mentality, right? I'm going to go over their goals next. So I need to know the 10 out of a 10 goal. If I ask you on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, how important these goals are to you to retire your mother, to buy your own house, to be financially independent in 5 years, or whatever the goals are they gave me. If it's not a 10, I need to know what the 10 is. Because if it's not a 10, it's not important to you. So you're going to find any excuse not to do the work to reach that goal. Next, we're going to talk about 3 things to build a business. This is where I'm going to see if they actually watched the orientation and paid attention, right? Because if they can't answer my questions, and I feel like they're really not there answering my questions, sometimes people may forget what they wrote down. That's common. But, once you do enough orientation, you kind of understand that people really pay attention to Samir's orientation. I will reschedule the fast start meeting. And I'll be like, you have to go back and watch your orientation. So, because my job is not to repeat everything Samir did, right? But 3 things to build a business, they should know that based on how easy my questions are, that literally are straightforward questions, right? Hey, if you were to have a restaurant and it was only you running your location, it's just you and your location, what are 3 things you need? Who do you need or what do you need to run your business, right? The first thing everybody says, if they were paying attention, oh, I need to hire people, right? Everybody said that if they were paying attention. And then narrowing it down to 2 skills that you just have to learn, which is recruiting a team and building a client. So then we talk about the field training bonus, and I hit on the 2 catches. Catch number 1, if you don't complete your pre-licensing class within 60 days, the company will cut your bonus in half. Catch number 2, we have to wait for your actual copy of your license to hit from the state government, pretty much, right? And if you're in DC, you understand how unorganized the DC government is. How often does the DC government ever want to do things on our time? No, right? So if we wait 90 days, you're cutting too close to your bonus. They're going to cut your bonus all at once, right? So we're not going to do anything in 90 days or 60 days. We're going to do everything in 30 days. And at the end, I show them, and I'm not going to draw it out today, but I pretty much draw out their 3 phases from trainee to soloist to trainer, how they're going to make $5,000 part-time transitioning into full-time as a trainer from day 1 by doing 10 by 10,000. Now we're going to get to the 4-minute name game and start building a list, which is an amazing name game because it just makes it so much easier and cuts so much time. Because the first 4 to 5 minutes, they should have literally, call it 20 to 60 names written down, first names only, right? If you were doing it the right way. After they do the 4-minute name game, which I'm going to role play with Sean down, they send a picture of their page to me on Telegram, because I'm teaching them to use Telegram, right? And then I type it up on an Excel spreadsheet that I've already seen examples of. So by now, by the time we meet, they've already been a part of our Telegram chat, right? We added them to the team chat, and they've already logged into the Primerica app. So now we're gonna get into the 4-minute name game. So Thomas is gonna pull up the PowerPoint. So going down to go to your inventory. So these are the slides for the field training bonus for your fast learning. So next. So assuming I'm meeting back up with Shondell, right? Or unless you want to do a full orientation all at once, I break it down into two parts because I've got more people to meet with, so I want to meet with people as much as possible. It takes 10 hours, 10 to 15 hours to build a relationship with your new recruit, and you have to build that 10 to 15 hours as soon as possible, right? Not an all-in-one day. So, all right, you're not getting married yet. So, yeah, so Shondell, do you have any questions from last time we met?
No.
Okay, awesome. So first things first, I need you to take out a blank sheet of paper, and I want you to create 4 columns, and I want you to name those columns one by one as family, friends, coworkers / classmates, and professionals as you see on my screen. And let me know when you're done. Okay, she's done. Okay. Now, I don't know how competitive you are, but the point of this is to help you put down as many first names as possible that come to mind based on the category we're working on. The rules are whoever's names you put down, they have to be in the United States only, and they have to be 18 or older, and you only have 1 minute to put down as many first names as possible that come to mind. So I have a timer here, right? And I'm gonna time you for 1 minute. We're just gonna work on family first. Just first names only. I don't want you to think about any other factors, okay? Just anybody that comes to mind that's in your family. Ready, set, go. So a minute goes by, done. All right, how many did you get down? 10. Awesome, good job. Now again, I don't know how competitive you are, but the point is to do your best. So the next column are friends. You may not have all the best friends in the world, but in this category, you want to put down your closest friends and any good associates to you. Ready, set, go. All right, minute goes by. All right, how'd you do?
5.
5, okay, 5. All right, you gotta do better, right? So the next column, these are coworkers / classmates. Now you can't repeat any names you've already put down, okay? But you can put down old coworkers or old classmates that come to mind that you may still have contact with. Ready, set, go. And then a minute goes by, great job, head down. How many did you do? Or how many did you get down? 8. 8, okay, good job. Now last, it's gonna get a little bit more challenging. The professionals, they're people that you've done business with. Maybe they have a side hustle, a side business, and maybe your nanny, your child's nanny, an Uber driver, you have a number 2, your hairstylist, your nail salon tech, just people that are in business, right? You have a professional relationship with them. Ready, set, go. Okay, time's up. How'd you do? 5. 5? Oh yeah, I know, it's getting more challenging. All right, so next step, I want you to take your time on this next step, okay? Because look through your list, and I don't want you to miss anybody. So take your time. I want you to circle any names that you know for sure who are married or engaged to your knowledge. Okay, so let me know when you're done. To your knowledge. Okay, so she tells me she's done. Next step, no matter if you circle them or not, I want you to put down mark a star next to the people you know for sure who have young children under 18. To your knowledge. Okay, so she breaks that down. Done. She's done. All right, so I want you to go on Telegram. I want you to send me a direct message and text me a picture, a clear picture of the list that you just put down. So what I'm doing while she's doing that is I'm pulling up the Excel spreadsheet I already started for her. So Thomas is going to pull up the Excel spreadsheet. By this time, she already knows what the Excel would look like because I already showed her examples on the first half of her Fast Start meeting. So I don't have any conflicts with people putting down names and numbers. I already showed you I can expand your list from 20 names and numbers to 100 as long as you follow my lead, right? If you don't listen, well, you know, that's you limiting yourself. So this is the Excel spreadsheet I pull up. So she sends me a picture on Telegram, and I'm already typing out all the names out of the way, right? So imagine there's all these names typed up, right? And as I'm typing, I'm talking. You may not be as fluid, right, with explaining why you're doing this, but with practice, you guys will be able to do it. So while I'm typing the names, I'm sharing my screen. I say, Shondell, as you can see, this Excel spreadsheet is pretty familiar, doesn't it? Yeah. So this is the foundation we're going to build for you. So as I'm typing out these names, not everyone that you put down is going to be a client. Not everyone's going to be a recruit. It's not a perfect world. But like we mentioned, everybody can lead us to somebody, can't they?
Right.
So it's not me teaching you how to work with people, I'm gonna teach you how to work through people. So some of these people will be categorized as not qualified, meaning there'll be more potential recruits. Some people will be categorized as more qualified because they'll be potential clients, especially for your field training days, okay? So I'm gonna teach you how to set up two different types of appointments on the recruiting side, and then of course on the client side, that's what you're gonna remember. All right, so I'm gonna go through this list. I'm gonna you probably don't talk to everybody every single day, which means you don't have everybody's numbers either, probably, and that's okay. But we want to go through this as quick as possible. When I say their name, just tell me how you know them and what their number is. If you don't have their number, don't worry about it. We'll worry about that later, okay? So now I say, oh, who's Tyrone? Oh, that's my, and what's their number?
561-335.
Who's Michael?
My co.
Okay, and what's their number? And I'm just collecting numbers and I'm typing, right? Val, she lets them type it sometimes with her. I type it because I know I can type pretty fast, right? To each is his own, but I want to cut time as much as possible and get to setting appointments. So that's what we do. List this down. Now I know who's qualified and who's not because they already circled and starred everyone. So I can mark everybody M for married, E for engaged, K for kids, however you guys want to categorize it, as you can see. Yeah, so that's before we do that. So we get all the names and numbers down. And now, Thomas, you can pull up the drawing icon down here. I tell them to write down this on them. So let's pretend this is their handwriting, okay? So I tell them to write down 2 columns on the recruit side and the client side. Shondell, it's really simple. This is a 2-step process as you're training with me. So first skill that you're going to learn is recruiting. Second is client to help skill sets. So number 1, there's 2 steps to each. So first step to the recruiting side, you send a work opportunity test. So you can write that down. Then you'll see me do a STEAM script. I'll share with you in a second. On the client side, 2 steps as well. You're going to learn how to send a character reference text, and then you're going to hear me do a character reference call. Sounds good? So not qualified versus qualified people. So we're going to start with the qualified people first. I like to start with setting appointments first because I want to get them in the field, right? If you said recruiting appointments, cool. However you got trained, just follow your trainer, right? But either way, we're going to hit on both. So I go to, let's say the first person is Tyrone and it's her friend and he's married with kids. And now I want to fully qualify him. Hey, what does he do for work? I want to know he has an income, right? And is he between age 25 to 55? Great. And so would you ever put him down as a character reference as a good things about you working with families? Great. So what I want you to do, I'm going to send you this message on Telegram. So I'm using Telegram, I'm forwarding them the character reference text. So the character reference text, if you guys have not seen it yet, I'm going to forward it to Thomas so he can forward it to the standard thread. It says, hey, I just started working with a new company and listed you as a personal character reference. Please say great things about me and expect a call from Jennifer Lee at 202-320-8800. Thank you. You see the text I just sent you on Telegram? Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to create a group text message between me and Tyrone and you. And I want you to address him in the message. Just copy and paste the message, but make sure you say, hey, Tyrone, versus just saying in general. That way you know it's direct. He knows it's directed to him. So go ahead and create that group message. I'm going to wait till that goes through because when he responds okay to you, I know he's expecting my call. So I'm not like upsetting him where I'm calling him out of the blue. Does that make sense? I want to make sure your credibility is intact. Okay, cool. And then we just do that over and over and over. If somebody immediately responds, I'm calling the person immediately. And so when let's say Tyrone responds okay, out of 10 text messages we've sent during our hour work session here, right? I'm gonna call Tyrone because if he texts back immediately, his phone is in front of him, isn't it? So the chances of him picking up, right, are really high. 99% chance, unless he's at his job and he's not able to pick up and he's working. So when he picks up, this is the script that I pulled out. No, not that one, the closing. Yeah, so this, Shay trained on this with me. Me and Shay trained on this a while ago, so I just saved it to my arsenal. So I share screen, I screen share this, not share screen. I screen share this with the recruiter so they can learn the script. Because one day they'll be a trainer, right? Not everyone will pay attention and listen, but the people that do, they move forward with the process really quickly. And when let's say we finish with the character reference tags, we set a couple appointments, now we're transitioning to work opportunity tags. So Chandel, now we're gonna work on the recruiting side. I'm gonna send you this other text message on Telegram. You see the message I just sent you that reads, hey, heads up, I just referred to a work opportunity, so just expect a call from Jennifer Lee. So your coworker who's not qualified, right? I don't see any stars or circles that you marked on them. What do they do for work? Right now they work with you currently, right?
Yeah.
So they do the same job as you?
Yeah, they got like a supervisor.
Okay, gotcha. How would you describe them with one word? If I said Michael is one of the most, whatever people you would meet, how would you describe him in a positive way?
Responsible.
Responsible, okay. So if I called him and I said, hey, Michael, we haven't had the chance to meet yet, but Chandel, your coworker had referred you as somebody who was one of the most responsible coworkers at the job who might be interested in a potential position with our company. He wouldn't be upset, right? No, he may not still be open, but at least I have a chance to get a referral for you, right?
Right.
So I want you to create a group message, just like you did with the other text messages, but in this case, we send the work opportunity message so that when he responds, okay, thank you, I call him because he's expecting my call. Make sense? Cool. So we send the three-way message with the work opportunity, and when somebody responds immediately, then I pull up the Steam script, and she's hearing me on Zoom talking. Why do I want her to hear me? Because I want her to feel comfortable and know that when I'm making calls later without her, she knows exactly what I'm saying to her people. Because people lie these days, right? Some people are like, I didn't get a call, or some people are like, oh, this person was so rude to me, right? But if you're listening, oh, we never set an appointment. Chandel saw me set an appointment with you. So how are you gonna lie to Chandel? And Chandel feel like, whoa, I didn't know he or she was like that, right? You're teaching Chandel how people really are. So when she gets rejected or she hears out of the blue, out of the ordinary things that this person she thinks she knows, Chandel's on my side. Why? We don't have that relationship yet like her coworker does, but she can trust me because I've shown her I'm trustworthy and I have her best interest at heart. And so, yeah, that's how we set up appointments. And from there, we're either going to do next a work session if the next day we haven't had a QA set yet for that day, or we're going to be on the QA. So that's it. Any questions, guys? No? Okay, thank you.
So you don't go through the whole fast start slides, you just have that.
This is part 2.
Part 2.
Yeah, so part 1, I already did the slides. So that was the point of me pulling up this list of things that I hit on first before we get into making a list. So Thomas can go back to the fast start meeting part 1. So this is everything I already go through. So if you go to the PowerPoint, Thomas, and go to the, go scroll through all the pages up here. So I already went through all of this with them. Yeah. So those are the bullet points, those are the things I
So
hit
you
on.
still go through all that after they watch the main video?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so Samir's video first, then these slides, and then making a list and calling. Yeah, Tom, not Thomas. You guys are good, like, great. Okay.
So you alluded to the fact that you do this in multiple meetings then? So you're not doing the presentation here and then the list? And
Yeah.
making the calls, so you do it in 2 meetings, basically?
Yeah, I never used to do that all the time until my time got really cut short because I had to do multiple meetings with multiple people. So I wanted to be efficient with my schedule. Yeah, but before I would do it all at once, just 2 hours. Anybody else?
Actually, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
So qualified versus non-qualified, can you maybe explain more? I think I have an idea. Can you maybe talk more about that?
Yeah, so this page was a review of what Samir went through in his orientation already. So this page, when I show it, they should already be familiar with it. I'm just touching and reviewing that non-qualified are people that don't follow the 4 to 5 points. The people who are qualified follow the 4 to 5 points.
Non-qualified is basically someone who doesn't need insurance, right? So if you're qualified for insurance and you're married, kids, homeowner, or something along the lines of that, unqualified means you're not qualified for insurance, which means you would probably fall more into the recruit category than a client category. So your son who's 21 and just got his first job out of college, that's not going to be a good client appointment. Maybe that's someone that we want on your team, right? But your coworker who's married, kids, that's someone that can be a good client. That's more qualified. Yep.
Any other questions? No? Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, so let's close on this. I'm going to talk a little bit about what she talked about. So before you can get someone to actually write names down and do the activity, she always went through a conversation, right, to get them to a comfort level. So as you watch her video over and over again, remember that you have to learn the conversations. Someone is not just going to be like, here are my trusted contacts. You have to kind of walk them through and conversate with them, get them to a comfort level. I thought that that was important. But the other thing is, strategy-wise, if you only work with people after they pass their exam, what did we say the ratio was? It's 20%. So if I don't do fast start meetings and I recruit 5 people, I'm only going to get resources from one of them. It doesn't make sense. So I could have said with my friend, like, dude, I'll wait till you get all your licenses because you have your first client is $1 million investment and you're not going to make money on it. And I'm going to think he thinks I'm trying to take his money. I didn't do any of that. I said, set the appointment, watch what happens. Now, he's not going to make money on the appointment, but where did it get him mentally and commitment wise to want to get the license? Because he goes, I cannot believe that someone is going to hand us $1 million after one meeting and a happy hour. So what did that do? Now that ensures that he's going to want to get more clients. It ensures that he's going to try his hardest to pass all of his exams as soon as possible. And it shows that we have good products and that I know what I'm doing. That is worth them not making money for the psychological value that they're getting from it. Does that make sense? And he's not on the bench for 4 months or however long it takes for him to get all his licenses. So the fast start meeting is to extract the resources from everyone to show them success and to build their belief so that they can carry forward and actually become licensed producers. It's a very important concept, right? And that's a meeting that it took me a while to learn when I was young. I would try to get Shaq to do as many of them for me as possible because it was just such an important meeting and I didn't want to mess up. Because if someone walks out without setting appointments, I'm never going to see that person again, most likely. Because why would they come back? They haven't seen any success. They haven't seen, nothing validates the things that we're saying that the business actually works, right? So it's something that you want to learn and you want to get good at and you want to watch the video. I didn't have videos like this. I just had to learn from doing it, right? Now it'll be a lot easier if you watch the video, you can get out there faster. But anyways, appreciate you guys coming out today. Hopefully that was a good one for you. I know that it was worth it for me to hear that. And we'll put this on YouTube. Let's make sure we set appointments and be on our way to have a record-breaking month after the convention. Use all these recruiting incentives, okay? Team on 3. 1, 2, 3.